recording.
Closing the deal. What's it gonna take Jen McGuire to close the deal? Here she has to choose between her integrity or the other party. What is the other party? Jane McGuire just recently got into the position of a salesperson where she's required to close a deal on properties with prospective buyers. Her sales director points out the most effective closing technique, and that's the other party. That's what he calls it. Even though this technique includes lies, deception, and manipulation, he claims it's a way of making the prospective buyer know that they really need the property and for the salesperson to close the deal. What's the problem here? Jane felt uneasy about closing the deal techniques. She instinctively objected to the use of psychological manipulation, and she felt it was a dishonest practice. So Jane lagged behind on her sales because she wasn't using this technique because she was not comfortable using it. So now the question is, since she has fallen behind and she's afraid of losing her job, should she engage in this practice which she's uneasy about? Well, in the textbook, it talks about the professional codes of ethics, and here it states, according to the textbooks, there are rules that are supposed to govern the conduct of members of a given profession. Adherence to these rules is a required part of a membership in that profession. Violation of the professional code may result into the disapproval of one's professional peers, and in serious cases, loss of one's license to practice the profession, which is exactly where Jane falls, because she's at that point where she's lagging and she's afraid she might lose her job. Yet she's a single mom with 2 kids. Should she practice this? Sometimes the codes are unwritten and are part of common understanding and the members of the particular profession, which it kind of seems like everybody in this profession kind of does this practice and agrees with it, and it's a technique they all follow, and it is closing them deals. But at the same time, the rule of fact is that part of the code of profession does not guarantee that it is sound moral principles. Since Jane is uneasy with this principle, does she not fit into the career, into the profession? Well, she should take the serious code. She should take the code seriously to the profession, but still have the responsibility to assess the rules for herself. The ethical issue involved here is that should she violate her own personal ethics in order to close the deal, and the effect of the sales director or the organization ethics on their employee. On an individual level, should she give up her integrity and use a technique to close more deals and have a secure job to provide for her children? On an organizational level, is the effect it's having on the employees and their ethical principle, since she does have a problem with using the deal, with using the principle. I believe in this situation that she has 2 options: either retain her integrity by not using the other technique, which goes against her core values. At the same time, she might lose her job. And the other option she has is to give into the situation and use a technique that everyone else is using, close deals, and she'll be able to have a job and provide for her children. So Jean should give her self-interest a great amount of consideration. As a single mom, she has to maximize the quality of life for her children. I think she should get a good sense of whether or not the buyers have a real intention to buy the property now or in the future. And if they intend to buy it, Jade should employ the sales technique. Jane has been at the bottom of performance for 6 months, and that is already put her in a dangerous zone of where she could get fired, and even more so, more dangerous for her children because she might not be able to provide for them their basic needs. The ethical theories here are: in the rule-based theory, the moral right or wrong of an action is determined by the pre-established rule regardless of the outcome. When Jean first heard about this heard about this closing of deals and the other technique, she felt uneasy, which means she's morally inclined not to do that. But the consequence based is good and evil are not absolute, and conduct may be good or bad depending on the result of the action. The utilitarian view is that the greatest good for the greatest number. And in this case, if Jean does go ahead and practice the other party technique, she will have a job, which is a greater good. Providing for her two children is even a greater good. And the customer may be motivated to sign the dotted line, and the company gets to close the deal. So in the utilitarian view, it seems like going ahead and closing the deal using the technique is the better option because more people get from it. That's her children, and the company. So this is my view on this dilemma. Thank you very much.